I'm heading now to the lake before starting the day and tell you more about what happened a couple months ago with the accident. Couple of months ago, I had a really bad accident in the cabin, doing the less dangerous thing that you could ever imagine. We didn't have the final ladder, so we were using the foldable ladder that we have. You might have seen it several times during the build. Usually Pepe is the one that opens the ladder at night, but that day I wanted to go to bed earlier, so I opened it myself, and looks like I did it the wrong way. It was a long day after driving around and doing weekly groceries and laundry, so I went to bed early. Made the bed with the fresh new sheets and then realized that I forgot my phone to put the alarm for the next morning. So I went down to pick it up, and all of a sudden the ladder below me disappeared and I lost my consciousness. For seconds that felt like hours, I thought that I was gone, then realized that I was still there but couldn't move, and once that I was able to move again, realized that my ears were ringing and I started losing balance and my consciousness. Pepe helped me to lay on the couch for a bit with both of cabin's doors open so the fresh air could get in. And after losing consciousness again, we decided that it was better to go to the hospital. It was really scary, mostly because it was really painful. I would say that it was probably the most painful thing that ever happened to me, and also because I realized that I was centimeters away from the coffee table that we have in the living room. So we ended up spending the night in the hospital. They did a CAT scan, told me that everything looked fine. I didn't break any bones. I just had an injury for the last couple of months. Luckily today I'm able to properly use. Now I can hold weight and move without any pain. This brings me to this week's project, the cabin's ladder, so we can access the loft area securely. Pepe decided not to postpone it any longer and have it done by the end of the week.
Good morning guys, today finally we're gonna be making the stairs that go to the loft area. Until now we have been using the foldable ladder that we have, the one that we used during the construction, and it's been great, but it's time to actually build one that is gonna stay here for the cabin, so we can use the other one in the van when we go surfing. We're gonna be building it with two pieces of wood like this one. This is roughly 6.5 by 4. We picked these dimensions because we kind of feel like they are nicely scaled inside the house. Also, a friend is gonna come over now to come help us move the table because it's too heavy for Eugenia. So I'm gonna remove all the clutter that we have. It's not clutter, it's the leftover wood that we keep there, so we can use it. Hey girls. Here I have the dimensions that are of the cuts that we are going to be doing. Basically, this is a long piece that we're going to cut with an angle like this and an angle looking like this also. Here in the bottom, I will do the first cut and then one cut on the other one in a different angle. And with these two cuts, then we have the whole ladder pretty much. So this is how it's looking. It's basically, as you can see, is flush on the floor, and then we're gonna put some rubber underneath so it doesn't slip. And then here, that's what I was referring earlier with the same cut. We have this connection here. I think that's a pretty good solution for, and a clean solution for this. The whole ladder is gonna be, so we're gonna just put it at night, and during the day we raise it up, and we're gonna actually secure it here to the wall. I'm just marking here the center of each step. The distance between steps are going to be 30 centimeters. One centimeter and a half. I was planning to go a little deeper, but alright guys, I realized that I made a mistake, and you know, I marked everything for the holes on one side, and then I went for lunch, then came back, marked the rest, and I marked it in the wrong side. So now these two parts are not parallel to each other, so that means that I just made one of the sides is wrong. So I have two options, none of them are good. It was going so smooth. I understand how I made this mistake at this time, at this point of my life. Alright, I think I got it solved. So for you guys to know, if you are replicating this with the layout kit, original idea was, and the one that I would do if I were you, was to have this piece cut like this. So that one is the angle that I show in the plans, and then this angle goes horizontal here, all completely flat, and that's where I said we should put the rubber underneath so it doesn't slip. But I am not able to do that because I cut it short. Yeah, not ideal, but it is what it is, as I always say. Alright, just cut again everything with the dimensions that was properly. So that was the second idea that I had, but Eugenia just came and told me, hey, why don't we do like this and put this guy like that, so we have a little bit more of inclination. Of course I will cut this one with the same line so you won't barely see that it's a different piece. So right now this is vertical, but I will cut it at the same angle, so that will give us a little bit more of an inclination in the stairs, which I think is gonna be easier to get up, no, Eugenia? What do you think?
Yes, I prefer to have more inclination, please. To be more secure.
Alright, so the plan here is to glue this here and also attach it with a couple of long screws like this one. So we attach it like here. In order to do that I need to make a hole here parallel to this side, so the screw goes actually perpendicular to the long piece. This is looking good, guys. Morning, guys. We woke up with the ladder here. We used it last night and it worked perfectly. So now I'm gonna just fill these holes, these screw holes that we have here, so we can paint the whole thing white, because we're gonna paint the ladder, the steps and the sides in white. And it works fantastic. It's super secure, and I need to reinforce also this connection here, because I think the screw didn't go through enough in this right side, and the glue didn't hold the weight because we didn't let it dry, to be honest. But yeah, so I'm gonna remove that and do it again. So how it works, we just put it here at night, and then in the morning we will need to remove it and just hang it here. I am drilling this deeper so the screw can go deeper in here, and also I think one of the issues that we had, I over screwed a little bit yesterday. gonna put a second screw on this leg. So now I need to find the filler for the holes, fill all the holes. After that we're gonna sand. Found it. Good morning guys, today it's kind of weird day because it's gonna rain or not, we don't know sure. The weather forecast says that it's going to rain, but it doesn't look like it's gonna rain anytime soon. So I'm gonna take advantage and finally paint the steering white. Also before painting the stair I'm gonna make a hook, a wall hook for the stair, because we want to be able to actually attach the stair to the wall while we don't use it. This is the wood we're gonna use. There are leftovers from the flooring that we installed. I'm gonna bring the meter so. So this is basically how it's gonna go. We will have 3 pieces, and this is the bottom one. This is the one that goes attached to the wall, and this is the front one that is just holding the step so it doesn't slide over, and it goes like this. Alright guys, this is how it's looking after the first coat. It's looking quite well if you ask me. I thought that the white paint will cover a little bit less of these dark wooden pieces that we had for steps, but no, it actually covered pretty well in one layer. So we're gonna let it dry. I think it's like 6 hours when you need to let it dry in between coats. Yeah, looking good. I'm gonna clean the roller and the brush and wait 6 hours. Good morning guys. Today I'm finally gonna be able to sand the ladder and the hook. It's been raining for the past 3-4 days, so I didn't have the chance to give a second coat, but now I'm gonna sand everything and I'll give the second and hopefully the final coat. I just need to make a couple of holes, one here and one there, put it on the wall, level it, make sure everything is level and screw it to the wall. Because the ladder is going to be attached to the wall and it's also going to be touching the floor, so it's not hanging 100%, it's on the floor and attached to the wall a little bit, so a couple of mils maybe off the floor. I'm gonna put the anti-slippery rubber on the bottom so we have the perfect height before we attach the hanger to the wall. So I'm gonna go get the level and the rubber. This is the rubber we're gonna be using.
I'm really excited to have the ladder ready because I can finally go up the loft without worrying of falling again, and because it came out great. It looks fantastic and it blends in with the space while not being in use. This summer we planted different varieties of squashes, and one that we have been enjoying a lot is the Hokkaido one. Today we are going to cook a cozy and warm lunch using the tomato sauce we cooked last week, with some potatoes and sweet potatoes also harvested from the garden.
If you like this cabin and have plans on building your own, remember that we have the layout and structural kits available in our website, with all the plans, details and info you could ever need to build one by yourself. Thank you very much to all of you that purchased it already.
As a side dish, we made the salad, picking up lettuce's leaves instead of cutting the entire head. This way we can start enjoying salads earlier while they are still growing.